Cool. So back in the day when I was chasing after all these crazy money and all that stuff, I was actually stuck. I'll tell you what I was stuck in a little bit, but I wanted to say that the moment I stopped chasing money is the moment I stopped being stuck. Here's why. A lot of people are chasing after money, right? I was chasing after money when I was in LA days, building my business. Oh, I'm gum in my mouth. I'm sorry. Building my business. I was trying to make a paycheck, right? Trying to make a living. And I was chasing after the money. I was also stressed out. I was also stuck. And I felt so empty inside sometimes. I just feel like there's no purpose in what I was doing. Um, and eventually, what I found out is that the issue is not the amount of income that I was making. I was making decent income compared to many other careers and many other people who are in the area. But the issue came down to the mindset, the vision, and the priority that I had with my money. So, what does that now mean? We're going to go through three principles in the Bible today that is going to help you understand what these things are. So, principle one, let's just dive right into it. Principle one is to seek wisdom. Proverbs 4:7 says to seek wisdom, get wisdom. The first thing is to get wisdom understanding. Why is that? Well, money without wisdom, it leads to destruction. Um, we all know that there's a lot of people that suddenly made money and then all they did was go to Vegas and blew it all, or um, for I mean, let's just say it, right? Alcohol, drugs, prostitution, all that stuff, right? There's some people that made a lot of money and divorced their spouse because, well, not on the quote unquote live free. That's not wisdom. That's not wisdom at all. That's just, you're just going out there and self destructing because now you have money. So, wisdom teaches you how to learn. Wisdom teaches you how to earn, which you need to learn before you earn, right? That's why you gotta seek wisdom first before you earn your money. Number two is how to manage your money, and number three is how to steward your money. You don't need to you don't need more money, right? You need better decisions and better management processes and systems in order for you to have the financial growth that you want in your life. What does that all mean? If you are making any sort of money, how are you managing it? It's a lot more important than how much you're making. There could be doctors making $500,000 a year, still being broke because the lifestyle that they have just keep catching up to them. The amount of money that you need to make is always a trap. The trap is the shiny object. The next, I don't know, golden watch, maybe that's way into. I'm not into those things. So if I were be in some sort of money trap, it'd be like gadgets, right? Freaking love these little gadgets that goes back in the phone and just mess around with it. It'd be like fountain pens. I don't question me, please. I like fountain pens. So wisdom is the first thing you need to go and get. Before you earn, you need to learn about money, this, all that stuff, managing it, storing it, and all that. Same thing with going out there starting a business. You need to learn a lot before you start making the money. There's a lot to learn in business. And then we go into principle number two. Principle number two is renewing your mind. This is coming from Romans 12:2, right? For that is the renew it. Gosh. Uh you renew your mind to shape your new belief. So there's a saying, right? There's a saying. If the person you are today is able to reach your goals, if the person you are today is good enough, then you'll be able to reach all your goals. That means in order for you to reach all your goals, we're working backwards here, right? In order for you to reach all of your goals, you need to become a different person. Not just, hey, got to do different things. You need to become a different person completely. How do we do that? Well, we do that by renewing our mind in the financial stuff, in financial situations, in financial life. Your beliefs about money is what's shaping your financial situation. Listen up. For example, money is evil. That's a belief. You believe that money is evil. Therefore, when you go out there and try to make money, you start thinking yourself being evil. But if you're a good person, then you're not going to make money because money is evil and it doesn't align with you, right? Rich people are greedy. Rich people are greedy because the way you believe it. Rich people tend to be the most generous people as well because they have more to give, right? So these are some of the wrong beliefs we have to address in order for us to get better at finances, managing it, making it, how we see it, right? Um, so those are the wrong beliefs. What are the right beliefs? Right beliefs include money is a tool. I just had a conversation with my boy literally just before this live started. You use money and use it as a tool, and you use it to, you know, do the things that you wanted to do. So now what happens, right? You use money the right way, it's going to glorify God. What does that mean? It's going to either show that you love God or show that you love the people of God. In his case, he loved on the people. He used money to buy people food, right? That's loving on people. So money is a tool. Depending on how you use it, depending on how you utilize the tool, it could be either useful or destructive. Okay. Um, Wealth can be used for impact. That's another belief that you need to have in order for you to be wealthy. Because when we have the money, and I'll use an example in a bad sense of things. When we have money, we have the power to shape situations. In this case, my example is politics. When you have the money, you tend to influence decisions that the White House makes, that the Treasury makes, that a lot of these companies that are very influential, if you have the money to influence them to make decisions that bring more wealth, or if you're wealthy, you can influence them to make decisions that benefit the people. But you gotta have some wealth to make that impact, because if you're just a worker, if you're just nobody, if you got no influence on anything, anyone, the amount of impact that you're going to have is not that much, right? So I have a question for you. And the question simply, I want you to ask yourself, and this is very important because this is self evaluation. And when we ask ourselves these questions, we tend to open our minds a little more. So, my question is, what is one belief about money that you need to break? It doesn't have to be big. I realized one of the things I had to break when I was little is that, hey, you get a white collar job and you're set. Currently, I have a white collar job. According to that belief, I should be set. But because I have a white collar job in a place that is super high expense, I am not set. And what if, it's just you're set here because your old beliefs. In case, I'm set here because of my old beliefs. Well, that's not where God wants me to be. So what do I got to do? I guess the white collar job is not going to be the place where I am for the rest of my life. And that's okay. And that's what we build. That's what we make content. That's what we're here. Right. And that leads me to number 3. Create your vision. It's this verse is from Habakkuk 2:2, right? Write your vision, make it plain. Um, so the reason why I want to talk about this, so you can understand, if you don't have a vision of where you're going, then you're kind of sort of going nowhere. You are going nowhere. You're just wandering around like Cain. So if you don't have vision, money will control you instead of you controlling money. If you don't have a vision, you'll probably buy some things you shouldn't have bought, got into debt, and now this debt is controlling you. Without vision, you probably did something that you shouldn't have done and cost you a good amount of money. And this money still is giving you guilt, right? But with vision, you are the one directing your money. Money is no longer in control of you. You are in control of your money. So the biggest thing here is the when you have a vision, it's so much easier for you to be disciplined. So much easier for you to just put a step towards that vision, right? Whether it's giving, whether it's serving, giving, saving, investing, family legacies, or buying a house, or anything like that. If you have a vision of what you need that to be, and you have the wisdom to know that it's a good decision, and then you have a renewed mindset of having that thing is going to be great for me because one, God provided it, two, it is necessary for us, then well, I think you made a pretty good decision there, right? So, couple things. Make sure you write down your goals, um, whether it's your income goals, your career goals, or your budget goals, right? Make sure you write it down. The verse says, write it down, make it plain. So you got to write it down, please. I beg you, pen and paper. Pen and paper. Beg you, please. It is so much better to write on pen and paper. You also have your investment goals, your giving goals, and all those goals. Make sure you write them down. And it is absolutely important and imperative that you go back and read them almost basically every day, if not multiple times a day. So I want to thank you for being here. Those are the 3 points I wanted to go over, but the last little thing I want to talk to you about. What can you do today for you to stop chasing money? Right? Of course, you can open up a Bible and start reading about all the things that's in there. The Word of God is just simply amazing, right? But here's the thing. I don't want you to just think about what you can do for you to stop chasing money. I need you to understand who you are, who you need to be in order to stop chasing money. The person that you need to be, the identity that you need to take on in order for you to stop chasing money. You're a lot more than just chasing after some paper change, some earthly possessions, right? Remember, you're a child of God, and the things that you and I do are not for this world, even though it is right now. But eternally, there's a return on investment eternally that we need to take into mind and always take into mind. So, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little more organized for me, so I'll be doing some more of this. And until next time, I'll see you then.